Yeah.
Okay, so Gemma, we are
Gemma.
continuing. We are continuing to study Bhagavad Gita. So this, yeah,
Yeah.
is okay. So last time we started chapter 2, and already Krishna is starting to explain to Arjuna why he is supposed to do his duty, not because he wants to get some selfish benefit, but because it's his duty.
Yeah.
And Krishna is giving so many reasons and explanations why it's better to, actually do one's duty. So verse 36 is if you are killed in battle, you attain the higher planets. If you win the battle, you will enjoy the pleasures of the world. Anyway, but you have to lose. If you fight this battle while remaining equally disposed, means unattached and prepared, to joy and sadness, gain or loss, victory or defeat, you will never be touched by sin. So this is the point. I mean, we do our duty unattached, but prepared. So,
But it says you're never touched by sin.
yes.
So
Papam abapsyasi. What is sin? Papam is here. I explain in okay, no, in another in another passage I was explaining what is sin. Now the sin is in the Vedic system is different from the concept of sin in the Abrahamic culture, ideology.
Yeah.
Now, in the Abrahamic ideology, a sin is basically when disobey the orders of God.
Yeah.
Okay. In the Vedic system, the sin is a stain on your character, your choices, your actions. It's something negative, something bad, that you make. So it brings something that brings bad karma. But
I mean, is it bad for your soul? Well, I suppose it is, isn't it? Because if it's bad for you as a person, it's going to affect your soul's journey, isn't it?
Yeah. Because if you do something bad, you'll have to pay for it, and you'll have to fix it.
Yeah.
So this is the idea of sin. The problem is that Abrahamic ideologies consider sin again as a disobedience to God's orders. So if God says that you should not enjoy healthy pleasures, then you think that enjoying healthy pleasures is a sin.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
While this is not a fact, because if something is totally natural and it's not hurting anyone, it's not hurting you, it's not hurting anyone, so how can it be a sin? It's not damaging, it's not a bad choice, it's a natural choice. It's a natural part of life. Okay. So the point is, if you do your duty, which can also entails some quite forceful action, because if you fight a battle, which battle are you going to fight? This battle, not any battle. Okay. Because this battle is your duty, because you have to protect the kingdom. You have to oppose the bad, Duryodhana and company. So you want to protect the prajas, protect the kingdom. So that will entail fighting in the battle. But if you are not motivated by selfish advantage, you mean you're equally disposed to joy and sadness, gain and loss, victory and defeat. because you're just doing your duty. So there is nothing that is actually touching you. Of course, if someone is, sticking an arrow in your arm, you're, of course, you'll be touched by the arrow and you'll feel pain.
Yeah.
But you'll not be touched by sin, by, bad, things that you'll have to pay for in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
This is clear. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we continue. I have explained this point to you by the analytical method of examination called Sankhya. Now listen to the concept as observed from the perspective of the practice of intelligence called Buddhi Yoga. Okay, you see a lot of stuff in the brackets.
Yes, yeah.
Because the original verse is more concise. It says, I have explained this to you by the Sankhya. Okay, what is the Sankhya? You explain what? This point. Now listen to this, okay, what? As Buddhi Yoga. So what is the Buddhi Yoga? Is the perspective of the practice of intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence. Oparta, through the Buddhi Yoga, this Buddhi Yoga, which is the application of intelligence and correct understanding, you will be released from the bondage of karma. Means actions and reactions. Yeah. So, through the intelligence, through the understanding, the knowledge, we can become free from karma.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go on. On this path, no effort goes to loss, and there is no failure or harm. Even a little effort in the direction of this Dharma liberates one from the greatest fear. So we don't need to be afraid that we lose something. If we make the proper effort with intelligence, by applying our intelligence to understand the science of action, the science of of the self, the soul.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go. The intelligence or understanding that is constantly focused on the Atman is the only true one in this world. Those who do not concentrate on the soul disperse their intelligence in innumerable minor ramifications. So, if you don't know who you are and what you are, everything else becomes dispersive. So, when our understanding is constantly focused on the Atman, we constantly remember what is the actual purpose of life.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what the purpose of life is.
Yeah. So, I think most of them is just to accumulate material things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, minor ramifications. They try to do a lot of things, but all these things are not really important. Because, what you accomplish in this life. One thing is working to survive, to maintain oneself, but the purpose of life is not surviving.
Yeah, Anji.
Something more. Which is this something more? This is the understanding, the intelligence, the consciousness of the self, of the Atman. Who are we? What are we doing here? What's the purpose? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have Osanoprita. Those who do not have a full understanding preach or recite about these things with many flowery words, and those who are attached to the letter of the Vedas are unable to recognize anything else. So this here is talking about the material religiosity. Like people think that religion, spirituality means practicing some ritual, some sadhana. So I am chanting the mantras, I'm chanting the stuti, I'm doing little puja, I'm doing little this and that. So that's all. but they don't have a full understanding, because the real purpose of everything, is self-realization, realizing the transcendental level.
Yeah.
It's not just about reciting or praying. You see the difference? The pious people, they think that the purpose of religion is just to pray.
Yeah.
Or to do some rituals, participate to some worship rituals. But, that's not the real, the full understanding. Okay, because the full understanding is the realization of the self. Who are we and who is God? What is God? Okay.
Yep.
Then we have, they aspire to the pleasures of the higher planets, considering them as the most desirable purpose, and to the fruits of their actions to be reaped in the next lifetime. Therefore, they perform a great variety of complicated rituals to achieve the purpose of high position and sense gratification. Yeah, okay, which is, not a bad idea, but that's not the most important thing. Abrahamics have this idea, they want to be religious so they can go to heaven.
Yeah, yeah.
So, which are the pleasures of the higher planets? So, the idea, of heaven, paradise, or whatever, is also there in the Vedic system. But that's not the most important thing.
Yeah, I suppose it's, it's somebody's desire, isn't it? Because some people, even like Hindus, they want to have, to meet their family, for example, afterwards, because there's certain desires that they still have. So this is talking about, therefore they perform. So the people that are doing the rituals, are they talking about the next lifetime to get a high position? Or this
next lifetime, yes. Either a higher birth on this planet, or even, reach the heaven. But still, the heaven, Swarga, is still in the material world.
Yeah.
So it's just higher planets, higher worlds, which are more pleasurable than Earth.
I see, yeah.
But they're still within the material world.
Yeah, I understand, yeah. So there's higher than the higher planets, there's higher sort of places.
Yeah, paradise, heaven, yeah.
Yeah.
So, because they are attached to pleasure and a high position of power and opulence, and their mind are confused by such things, they remain unable to focus their understanding on the self and to attain samadhi. Samadhi means balanced, constant consciousness. Okay? So, this Bhoga Aishwarya. Bhoga means sense pleasure, because you go to heaven, you enjoy. People of heaven, it's heavenly pleasure, they say. It's like a paradise, heaven, because people are expecting to enjoy. And a high position, of course, is a higher position. Aishwarya, domination, power and opulence. So, in paradise, everybody gets a crown and, stuff like that. They get 72 girls, so that's sense pleasure and domination. But that's
because the interesting thing is, like, I was thinking about it myself. I mean, not criticizing anybody, but okay, if you're getting 72 ladies or whatever, they are all souls, aren't they? The 72 ladies, I assume, So if they are like one of those souls, they must be quite unfortunate for them to be with one guy.
Yeah, well, that is not specifically clarified.
I see.
Now, the descriptions of heaven by Muslims is, mirroring their mentality. In Swarga, you also have these beautiful apsaras.
Yeah.
But they are not owned by anyone.
Oh, I see. Are they like souls as well? Like
No, but they are not individual. I mean, they're individual souls, but they're like the apsaras are like dancers.
I see. I see. I see.
While in the Muslim idea of paradise, there are sex slaves.
Yeah.
Which are assigned to each particular, man who goes to paradise, to heaven.
Yeah.
It's reflecting their idea about what is pleasurable.
What heaven is. Yeah, what heaven is and what's pleasurable to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because I've heard some scholars, Muslim scholars, talking about it, and the one of them was saying that it is like who doesn't want to have that? Like who doesn't like sex, and
Yeah.
who everybody would like that. Yeah, I mean I do understand that on a worldly level. Yeah, of course, it's a natural feeling, but I think in heaven you would think that there'd be. It would be a bit more like, God, if God is in charge, we could still have that peace without.
Yeah, that is a more Christian perspective.
Yeah.
So Christians have a more, ethereal idea of paradise. But of course, it looks much more boring.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean,
because people think, the Christian things usually they think that paradise is, everybody in a nightgown sitting on a cloud and playing the harp.
Yeah.
That you see sometimes in films or something.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, that. I mean, I guess to some people it's like.
Yeah, so boring.
Quite boring. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but we have in Swarga we have so much more variety, but nobody is a slave to anyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically it's a higher quality of life, but it's still material life.
Oh, it's still material, I see. Even after, when the soul goes there, it's still material.
Yeah, because paradise or heaven is still within the material world.
Yeah.
Now, there is a difference between the higher worlds, the Swarga, and Vaikuntha, or the spiritual world.
Yeah.
So, the paradise is not the spiritual world.
Yeah.
You can still be happy in the spiritual world, but you don't have a material, you have a spiritual body.
Yeah.
Which can be anything you want. Now, the devas, when you are in Swarga, you have a very good body, but you cannot just be anything and everything.
Yeah.
Because you have a deva's body. You're born and die. In the spiritual world, you are pure consciousness, and you can manifest whatever you want. That doesn't mean that your spiritual body is not solid.
Anji.
Have you heard about the Kalpavriksha, the wish fulfilling tree? No.
Wish fulfilling tree? No.
What about the Kamadhenu?
Sorry, no, I've not heard of that.
No. The wish fulfilling cow. No. Okay.
No.
So the Kamadhenu is a very special type of cow that can give anything. And like the Kalpavriksha is a tree that can give anything. Not because on the same tree you can find apples of different types, but it can give, a tree can give milk, it can give cars, it can give, houses, it can give anything. Because everything is a manifestation of consciousness. So the spiritual world, every form is a manifestation of consciousness.
Anji.
So it doesn't matter which form you have. You can manifest any form.
I see. So it's higher than
Yeah.
the what was it? Heaven, I suppose.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
material.
Higher than the
Yeah.
heaven, and it's eternal. I mean, you don't have to die. The day in Swarga, you have to die.
I see. It's a limited time, is it?
Yeah, it's a limited time. When you exhaust your punya, your good karma, you have to go back to work.
I see. I see. So it's never ending if you aspire to go there.
Yeah, it's a
You,
cycle. In
yeah.
fact, Krishna will explain.
Yeah.
He's saying, later on, he's say
Okay.
after enjoying for a number, great length of time, then, when your punya, your merits are exhausted, you come back to the earth and you continue, doing your duty so that you
Yeah.
make more good karma and so on. Okay. So 46. Whatever value is found in a pond is also found for all purposes also in a large lake. Similarly, whatever is contained in all the Vedas can be found in a person who has realized the knowledge of Brahman. So the Swarga, the paradise or heaven, is not the level of Brahman.
Yeah.
Because it's still in material world. So in the level of Brahman, you can find everything. You can manifest everything, any form of body or object or whatever, because everything is made of pure consciousness. Okay. So, you certainly have the right. This is quite a famous verse. You certainly have the right to perform actions, but never the right to enjoy the fruits of your actions. Do not try to become the cause of the fruits of the action, but do not become attached to inaction.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Means we do our duty, whether we get some good results for ourselves or not. Okay, it will come. Okay, it will not come. Okay, but at the same time, we should not think that we are the cause of the action, the cause of the fruits of the action, in the good and in the bad.
I see what you mean. Like, I suppose something goes well, we probably think, yeah, look at us, we're amazing. We could have this type of thinking that
and then
because of us.
you try again, it's not working.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't depend on us, solely on us. Of course, it depends also on our actions, because if you don't do it, if we don't perform our duty, nothing good is going to come from it. But still, if we do our duty, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's okay. But it's not that when we do our duty properly, our actions are lost.
Yeah.
They will give fruits in the future.
I see what you mean. Even if it doesn't go the way maybe
exactly
that you were hoping for.
Yeah, but still we have put the proper effort, the proper action, so it will come around.
Yeah.
So do not become attached to inactions, because some people say, okay, if I don't, if I cannot expect to have the fruits, the results that I want, why should I work?
Yeah.
Because, sooner or later you get the good results.
Yeah.
Okay. Firmly situated in yoga, perform the required activities, giving up the attachment. Attachment in the sense of connection to them means sense of ownership.
Yeah.
What sometimes is translated as doership. This equanimity in success and failure is called yoga. So yoga is not about weird bodily positions. It's something more than that. Therefore, Dhananjaya, keep far away from all bad activities by engaging in Buddhi yoga. Always take shelter in this intelligence. Those who work because they are interested in the fruits of the action are pitiable. Yeah, because they're not always getting what they want. And when their expectations are not bad, they freak out.
Yeah, I do see people like that who, they're very, they do things and
Yeah.
they're very confident it should go their way if they pray
Yeah.
or
Or
whatever.
they say, yeah, or they say, what's in for me?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I could see how you could be very disappointed,
Yep.
if you, because things don't always go. So by engaging in Buddhi yoga, that's intelligence, isn't it? Buddhi
Yeah.
yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddhi means intelligence, literally. Through
Yeah.
Buddhi yoga, one can become free already in this life from both bad and good actions and reactions. From,
Yeah.
Sukrita, Duskrita. Good action, bad actions. Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, you should engage in yoga, which is the best way to deal with actions. Because we're
Yeah.
always happy. We're doing our duty and take what we have. The wise
Yeah.
people give up the fruit born from their actions by engaging in this Buddhi yoga and thus become free from the bondage of rebirth, attaining a position that is free from all sufferings. Okay, doesn't mean that they throw it away.
Yeah.
Okay, give up in the sense they are not attached. They give up the attachment. Tyaktva.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyaktva means abandoning in the sense giving up, but it's not that you have to throw it in the garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When this intelligence will lead you out of the dense swamp of illusion, you will come to a point where you'll be indifferent to whatever has been heard or will remain to be heard. Yeah, I mean, you have this experience, so whatever other people say is not exactly very, crucial, so not so important.
No, absolutely. Everybody's got opinions,
Exactly.
and people these days, of course, they're not afraid to express them, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't take it. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
take it to heart too much. Unless because a lot of them are way off the mark. Sometimes they
Yeah,
just
we need to rely on intelligence,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
personal
definitely.
experience. So,
Yeah.
53. When you are stable in your consciousness without being confused by what has been heard, then you will achieve the yoga where the intelligence does not waver from samadhi.
Okay.
Actually, I think there is one typo here.
Yeah, waver. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be waver, not weaver. But anyway.
Thank you.
So, when stable in your consciousness without being confused means you are directly experiencing. You have realized, realization means you are actually experiencing the reality of the facts.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, okay, Shiva, a person who's firmly established in the consciousness of meditation is said to be in samadhi. How does he speak and what does he say? How does he move and how does he stay? So we have the actual proof, evidence. We can see if someone is actually situated on the spiritual level from their behavior. And Krishna says, when someone gives up all the desires that flow into the mind, is not so spontaneous anymore.
Oh, right, yeah.
And remains satisfied in the Atman, he is said to be firmly situated in the correct understanding, because the mind will always come up with new stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
If we have to run after each one of the things that the mind comes up with, yeah, right, we're never going to, find peace or happiness.
No.
So we give up the desires that flow into the mind. Like, okay, we let them flow. Yeah, we give up in the sense we let them go. Prajahati.
Anji.
Okay. A person whose mind is not distracted by sufferings or joy and remains detached, free from attraction, fear, and anger, is called a Muni who is able to maintain a steadfast meditation. doesn't mean that he's not feeling any suffering or joy, but not distracted, because suffering and joy will always come. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like heat and cold. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, a person who is detached from all situations or places, who does not become elated in favorable circumstances or spiteful in unfavorable circumstances, is firmly situated in wisdom. So we don't blame anyone, and we don't enjoy being the victim, and we don't try to, get revenge on others. You just, okay, something good comes, yeah, good, thanks, but you don't lose your you don't become drunk.
Yes.
With joy.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't become depressed in unfavorable circumstances. So, yeah, okay, that's a problem. We work on it. Yeah, no, yeah. It starts and ends. Everything has a beginning and an end. A person who completely withdraws the senses from the sense objects, like a tortoise or turtle, withdraws all its limbs inside the shell, is firmly situated in wisdom, because the real happiness is inside ourselves, the inner happiness. We are happiness. So, sense objects are good for the body and the mind, not for the self. So we withdraw the senses from the sense object doesn't mean that we don't see, hear, or touch, or taste anything. It means that we are not meditating too much. We're not meditating on the sense objects.
Yeah.
When the sense objects come, okay, we perceive them, we accept them, that we use them in the proper way, but we don't meditate on them.
Yeah.
Okay. The embodied soul may keep the sense object at a distance and reject them, but he can give up the taste for such objects when he sees and finds the supreme, something that has a higher, better taste. Better rasopiyasya. Rasa means taste. So that means that we should not try to give up the sense gratification just by renunciation. Because if we repress our natural needs, naturally the mind will try to find satisfaction in some other way. But how can we give up a lower happiness, a lower pleasure, just by experimenting when we find a higher pleasure?
I see what you mean, yeah.
Okay. Which is working at all levels.
Yeah.
Of course, the highest pleasure is the spiritual pleasure, the inner pleasure, that never goes away.
Yeah.
Okay. All other pleasures come and go. The son of Kunti, the senses are so troublesome that they can forcibly carry away the mind even of a man who is wise and strives to control them. Because the body and the mind, we are not the body or the mind, but we have them.
Yeah.
A person who keeps all these senses properly controlled, regulated, and engaged in a constant consciousness of me, means of this Atman Brahman, has certainly mastered them and is firmly situated in wisdom. So, the key is not just to renounce, give up, and go away, and no, I don't want anything. No, we engage the senses in a regulated manner without meditating specifically on the objects of senses. We just like workers, we use them. We use the senses to do our duty, like a bank employee. is, handling a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he doesn't meditate on that money, doesn't have, feelings or desires of ownership, attachment, identification to that money.
Anji.
So he can do his duty, whatever money he can get as a salary, he's happy about that, but that's it. Okay.
But it says constant consciousness of me. So
Yeah.
when it says constant, does that mean like even when you're working or
Yeah.
even when you're...
Yeah. Samadhi means constant consciousness, equal consciousness. This means, Krishna will explain better on this point, will elaborate more in several verses. For example, there is this Yad Karoshi Yad, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give in gifts, or whatever ritual, sacred action you perform, you should all do these things, you should do all these things by keeping the constant spiritual consciousness. And there is another very nice verse who says that when someone is realized, is staying, is situated on the spiritual consciousness, while the body and the mind are engaged in various activities, he knows that it's just the body and the mind that are engaged.
Yeah.
So still we work, we do everything, we can also enjoy the healthy pleasures of life, but we are not attached to them. We use them as instruments to do our duty. If you don't take care of your body and mind, you will not be able to perform your spiritual duty well enough.
Yeah, Anji.
So, giving pleasure, taking care, giving satisfaction to the body and mind is not the end in itself. It's the means to maintain a good body and mind so that you can actually do your duty. While most people think that they can get happiness by satisfying the body and mind.
Yeah. That's what they think. Yeah.
But that doesn't work, because the body is never satisfied and the mind is never satisfied.
Yeah.
And sometimes body and mind try to get satisfaction with things that they're actually detrimental.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So like healthy kind of things.
Yeah.
To because we do, like you say, Mataji, we all do need it. Not to like say that, oh, I'm not going to look at another woman, or I'm not going to do this or do that. Because a lot of things are natural, aren't they? They're kind of innate.
I mean, the things that the body and mind need, like, okay, apart from the romantic relationship, let's speak, for example, about food. Okay, food is more, basic, is more fundamental than romantic relationship. So you need to eat.
Yeah, Anji.
And you should eat good food. It's not that because you're not attached to the senses and this and desire, blah blah, then you eat stale roti and water for the rest of your life.
Anji.
Because that's not required. The body and mind need to have the proper satisfaction with healthy stuff.
Anji.
And that includes also some pleasure, sense gratification, good food. And that applies to everything, like the housing and the relationships and clothing and whatever. It's not bad to have pleasurable things.
Yeah.
But the point is that we should be aware that the pleasurable material objects are not going to give us permanent happiness.
No.
Because by thinking about the objects of the senses, Here, 62. A person associates with them. By association, desire develops. And from unfulfilled desire, anger arises.
I see. So
Means we can enjoy the objects of the senses, but we should not meditate. We should not think too much about them. Because when we think too much about them, hoping to get happiness from them, what happens? That we get the habit, we become addicted.
Yeah.
When the addiction is not fulfilled, when there is no sufficient satisfaction, then you get angry. You're not happy. And then again, the next verse continues. Anger becomes confusion, and confusion becomes failing memory. Because of the loss of memory, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls from his position. So if we think about the objects of the senses as the source of happiness, we will have to become frustrated because they are not going to give us permanent happiness. So when we become frustrated and angry, confused, and we lose the memory, we lose intelligence, and we don't know what we're doing anymore. We lose the plot.
I see what you mean, yeah.
We don't know what we're doing in life. Just have a look around, and that's the vast majority of the population.
Yeah. Anger is, I suppose we all get angry, but I suppose...
Yeah, but anger, can manifest at different degrees. Because temporary anger is like, someone is challenging you or whatever, insulting or whatever. Then you become angry. But how angry you become? Because we become angry because we were expecting something else. Something better.
Yeah.
So we become frustrated, and from frustration the anger comes.
Yeah.
Now, if because the mind creates the anger.
Yeah.
Just like the mind is bringing up all sorts of garbage.
Yeah, I understand, Martha. Yeah, I suppose from experience you realise that some things don't go your way. You get frustrated and angry, and then rarely, if you the anger can definitely create more problems than you started with.
Yeah, exactly, because anger is not improving the situation, because when we are angry we become confused. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We lose the memory. We lose the consciousness of what we're supposed to do in life.
Yeah. It can definitely send you on the wrong track.
Yeah, we lose the plot. We don't know what we're doing anymore.
Hanji.
Then, a person who has become free from the attraction and repulsion for the objects of the senses maintains the control of himself in his actions and regulates himself. In self means Atma Vasya, control of himself. Himself can, in the body, mind, and senses, obtain satisfaction or blessing. Prasadam adhigachati. Prasadam means satisfaction or blessing also. So this satisfaction is a blessing.
Yeah.
But how we can get satisfaction? By becoming free from the attraction and repulsion for the objects of the senses. So we are happy with what we get.
Yeah.
We maintain control of oneself in actions and becomes regulated. Doesn't mean giving up, because repulsion is the other side of the coin of attraction.
Yeah.
So, let the nice things come. We are going to enjoy them and use them. If the bad things come, we try to tolerate. If we can fix them, okay. If we cannot fix them, okay. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
in this way we can be satisfied, we can be peaceful. You know, and that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I suppose it doesn't mean not taking action, but I suppose when your mind is balanced, you're able to take much
Yeah.
more calculated, measured action
Yeah.
than if you were disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, because of course, you know, disturbances will always come.
Hanji. Yeah.
Things are happening all the time. You know,
Yeah.
but you know, we can be an island in the ocean, a mountain in the ocean, you know, or
Hanji.
we can be a little boat without a rudder.
Yeah.
You know, if we are firm in our consciousness, then the external things, yeah, will, you know, some disturbance will be there, but we are not going to be completely thrown off.
Hanji. Hanji. Yeah.
You know, but some people are completely confused and thrown off because they are not focusing on the important things of life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
This prasadam blessing, this satisfaction, brings about the destruction of all sufferings. Okay, you know, we overcome all the problems. Give satisfaction to the mind, and by it, the proper intelligence of understanding is quickly established. So we are, you know, we get the proper understanding or intelligence of what we are supposed to do. You know, so we don't do, you know, very stupid things.
Hanji.
A person who's not connected or engaged in yoga cannot have the proper intelligence or understanding. A person who is not engaged in yoga cannot get any good results or be able to attain peace. And how can there be happiness without peace?
You mean yoga? Engaged in yoga? You mean like the meditation? You mean, Mataji?
No, this yoga is Buddhi yoga, the yoga of intelligence. This is
Oh, I
the
see. I see.
meditation. You know, it's not, again, it's not about, you know, the weird positions of the body.
Yeah.
You know, so the connection with the Buddhi, Krishna is talking about the Buddhi yoga.
I see. The
So the yoga
intelligence.
of intelligence. So if we are connected to the purpose of life with our actual understanding of the Atman Brahman, who we are, what we are doing here, you know,
Yeah.
if we are connected with that, we are, you know, we are doing the right things and we can get good results, even if we are not particularly looking after them. But if we don't have that intelligence, that understanding, that awareness or consciousness, we are only going to make a lot of, you know, stupid choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we'll keep running after every single idea that our mind brings up.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know, so we cannot get peace. We cannot get good results. We cannot get peace. Because we are trying to find the happiness where the happiness is not.
I suppose, Mataji. I mean, of course. Yeah. That does make sense. Yes. I was just thinking, like, with certain people who are born with, I don't know, like a disability or something.
Yeah.
Would they still be able to? Because I know it's much harder, isn't it, for somebody who has certain,
Well, it
learning.
depends on the disability, because if you have, you know, serious, for example, brain damage,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know, you don't have so much intelligence. You know,
Yeah.
you cannot use your brain in the best way, you know, because it's not working very well. But we can go beyond the brain.
I suppose because there's some people, Mataji, that like I've seen, like with people that I know. Unfortunately, the disability really restricts them in life,
Yeah.
and they're not able to read, or I mean, it's really sad, but obviously, existence just seems like it's a suffering for them. And as much as people are trying to help them, I suppose is it more of a case of like. I suppose they are paying karma,
Yeah.
because like I guess how much can they really like learn from the holy book, which I know it's for everybody, but yeah, I understand that it must be difficult for
Yeah.
somebody who's not in a favorable position, where
We
you
we
can
can
learn.
only do our best,
Yeah, Hanji Mata, yeah, I understand. Yeah,
but usually we all get some opportunity to get better,
yeah, yeah,
just to make better choices in life.
yeah, yeah,
Even if we don't have a very high IQ, we
yeah,
can still feel what is good and what is bad.
yeah. There's still something we could do with what we
Yeah,
have. Yeah, I
exactly.
understand. Yeah,
And
yeah,
especially if we are sincere enough,
yeah,
if we have sufficient desire to understand life and how to live in a better way, we get the opportunity. Maybe not the books, because we cannot read. If you cannot read, books are not very useful. But we can find some people who can help us.
yeah, Hanji.
You know, and even animals feel that.
Mm,
So human beings, even if they don't have the top shelf you know instruments physically
yeah, yeah. That's it. The
and
instrument. Yeah,
mentally,
it's not
but
their fault, Mataji. It's just
no, I
how
mean
it's.
it's not their fault in the sense that things happen.
Yeah, yeah,
you know but in each situation we should make the most out of it.
yeah,
If
yeah,
we are sincere, of course. If we're not sincere, that's a different story. But suffering is engineered to make us softer,
mm.
to tenderize
Hanji. Yeah,
our ego. Because if we have suffered, we can become more easily sympathetic to the sufferings of others.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah,
And we can understand more clearly that bad choices will bring suffering to us, not only to others, but to us as well.
yeah, yeah, definitely, Mataji.
And, even if we don't find any teacher, life itself will teach us.
Hanji.
Sometimes it takes longer,
Yeah,
but after all, we have eternity.
yeah, yeah. We just got to keep going, trying to make every day better than the last one, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do our best. We cannot do more
yeah,
than our best.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Hanji.
Okay, so we have this second chapter is quite long, but only 70 something verses. So, a mind that follows the senses becomes subservient to them and takes away the wisdom of that person like a wind sweeps a boat on water.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
means that the mind can be a very good servant, but it's a lousy master.
I see what you mean. Yeah, if you follow the things that your senses are telling you to follow.
Yeah. The
Uh,
senses and the mind are never going to make you happy.
yeah,
You're
yeah. I
never
see.
happy. You're walking and you dream about having a bicycle. Then you get the
Yeah,
bicycle. Oh, if I only had the bicycle. Now you get the bicycle and you want a motorcycle. Then you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
motor. Oh, if I only had a motorcycle. Yeah, you get a motorcycle. You want a car.
yeah. It's true. It's never ending. It's
Then
just
you
yeah,
want a bigger car.
yeah,
Then you want two cars. And you end up with like some sheikhs, in Saudi Arabia. They have 400 cars. What are you going to do with them?
Hanji, yeah, Hanji.
Personal cars, not like they have a car factory, or a car
Yeah, yeah,
sales, saloon. That
yeah,
they just have the private cars. What they're going to do with 300 cars?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hanji.
Never finding happiness. Then you want a car that is made totally of gold. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay. So, but for the wise person, the wise person is someone who practices restraint in all activities while engaging the senses in the objects of the senses. It doesn't say you shouldn't engage the senses in the object of the senses, because this is tricky. Many people think that we should abstain from sense gratification. No, because the body and mind, require some measure of sense gratification to function properly.
He practices restraint in all activities while engaging.
Yeah, I mean, you regulate yourself. How much you're going to eat.
Oh yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And this is about all the other things, like how many cars you want.
Yeah.
So you practice restraint while engaging the senses in the objects of the senses, which is okay. We have a body, we should use it.
Yeah.
We need to keep the body happy. We need to keep the mind happy, not too happy. Because we have to regulate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's like when you have a child.
Yeah.
You have a child, you need to give the proper food, the proper attention, proper playing and everything. But you have to regulate the activities. Yeah. Because if you're just listening to the child, just eat ice cream every day for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Which is okay, maybe for a few days, but after some time it's not good for health.
No, of course, yeah.
You cannot eat, 5 kgs of ice cream in one sitting, because you're going to get sick.
Yeah, there needs to be some balance, yeah.
Yeah, restraint, while engaging the senses in the objects of the senses. So that is, wisdom.
100, yeah.
Good sense.
Yeah.
Intelligence. For such a wise person, what is night for all creatures becomes the opportunity for regulated awakening, and the time when the creatures remain awake is night for him. That means that the things that most people are looking for, he's not interested. So, what is night for all creatures? Finally, some peace and quiet.
I see. What is night for? Oh, okay. I see what you mean, yeah.
So, when you can abstain from running around like a headless chicken, it's nice, you become awakened. So you can, for example, engage in proper meditation.
Yeah.
And what is the time when the creatures remain awake is night for him. Okay, yeah, well, we have to go through this, but not so much, thanks.
I see what you mean, yeah, because there's disturbances, isn't there, when you get the mass people. Yeah.
Okay. So, the purport here, there are various levels of meanings for this verse. For the most literal, recommending the yogi takes proper advantage of the quiet hours of the very early morning, when everybody else is sleeping, to the most symbolic, implying that the needs, interests, pursuits, and logic of materialistic people are totally unnecessary for a yogi. So there are different levels of meanings.
Hanji.
Okay. So maybe next time, next round of study, we'll be able to read the explanations. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, here, verse 70, the ocean does not move from its position, no matter how much water enters to fill it. A person who similarly withstands the flow of desires entering his mind achieves a peace that is not achieved by one who wants to cultivate desires. Means desires are always going to come to the mind.
Yeah.
We need to pick and choose the good ones. Those that are useful, good, and we can actually do them without remaining attached to them. But usually people who are quote unquote spontaneous, they are trying to cultivate desires. They want more desires.
Yeah.
You can never find peace.
No, you can't. No, you can't. I understand, Mataji. Yeah, that meaning. Yeah.
By abandoning all desires, a person moves freely without attachments. And because he does not consider himself the owner or doer of anything, he attains peace. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job, my duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Osana Prita, this is the spiritual level. Not having, talking with the ghosts. A person who has attained this level never becomes confused. And by remaining in that position, he attains spiritual liberation at the end of his time.
Yeah.
And this is the end of chapter
2. Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So, you want to elaborate more on this chapter? So, everything is clear.
Yeah, it is very clear, Martin. There's a lot of stuff, obviously, talking about the desires and detachment to when you take certain actions, not being the enjoyer of the fruits of the actions, and being able to, I suppose, filter out the thoughts of your mind. And nothing wrong with desires, but obviously we're like weeding out a garden, isn't it? We pick and choose, which thoughts are or which desires we are actually going to
cultivate,
satisfy. Because we do need certain things, body and mind needs that. But
but we are not looking for more desires to fulfill.
Yeah, absolutely, Mataji. Yeah, because it's not
because that's not where we are looking for happiness.
That's just to, I suppose, it's just to get by, isn't it? Like you're
exactly,
doing that.
to keep the body and mind as fit as possible to do our actual duty, duty.
To do the important things, but no, I do understand, Martin, and it was very good. Yeah, it's very good to talk about it, and there's a lot of things by there about that, about how to find peace, what a wise person is, and it's something for me to think about, definitely.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay, so next time we start the third chapter.
That's it, third chapter next time. Look forward to it, Mataji.
Excellent. So we stop here and we'll start again from next time. Jai,
thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Jai Ma.